Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Thursday, February 29th. Okay, so today we have the moon in Scorpio all day. Of course, we sat in that void with that moon for almost 24 hours before we locked into that moon in Scorpio energy late last evening. The moon in Scorpio wants us to do a deep dive within ourselves. There's a major change, major transformation, major adjustment needed to our inner realm, to our emotions, our mental plane, our soul, our spirit. We've been definitely going through the purge here in Pisces season, attempting to lighten the load as we enter into a new astrological calendar when we dive into Aries season. So of course, with the sun in Pisces, a water sign, the moon in Scorpio, a water sign, we are definitely in the mood and in the attitude to do some emotional healing. Does that feel good? No. Is it supposed to? Absolutely not. But it is absolutely essential for us to really take a good look at the shadow elements that are coming up in our consciousness for our awareness, for our acknowledgement, our integration, and release and surrender, if necessary, in order for us to be prepped, equipped, and prepared for this new chapter. So we definitely have a lot of inner work going on at this time. This is also the very last day of February, a leap year, if nothing else, which means that we have the opportunity to take a huge jump, a huge leap forward, especially with the karmic reset of some of the cycles that took place here yesterday. The sun and Mercury, Mercury and Saturn, the sun and Saturn. We definitely have the opportunity to detach from the old in a big way and to take a leap of faith in a new path, in a new direction. And of course, that happens in the inner realm before we actually get to do that in the outer realm. We have a brand new month coming at us here very shortly. Listen to the March energy forecast. Your individual zodiac forecast will be available for download or listening pleasure on my Patreon and on my website here over the course of today and tomorrow. We definitely want to stay ahead of the game. March is a very interesting month because, of course, we're closing out the old calendar. We're jumping into a new calendar. We're jumping into eclipse season. There is a whole lot of refinement going on, again, building us up to start fresh when that equinox energy resets the karmic scales and we attempt to tip them in our favor due to the energy work that we're currently doing in this present moment in the here and now. So there are 9 different aspects taking place here today. 7 of them are going to involve the moon. The moon in this Scorpio energy going to get into the boxing ring, square off, creating tension and conflict with Pluto, Scorpio's ruler. Pluto is in Aquarius energy, and of course, Scorpio energy and Aquarius energy, they're both fixed signs. So there's a resistance to want to change here, even though we know that we should be changing, especially in our inner realm, our emotional realm, the inner dialogue, the inner narrative. Pluto is here to take us on a little bit of a frustrating journey in our inner realm to see where it is that we're feeling blocked, feeling challenged. And of course, from this tension, from this conflict, we have every opportunity to flip the script, to override the programming, the conditioning, and actually put ourselves in a place of power. So this is definitely going to, I'm going to say, unearth a lot of that darker shadow work in order for us to recognize that we are essentially just kind of creating a little bit of friction within our own lives with the resistance that we're currently displaying to some of the changes that have to take place first and foremost in our inner realm before we're going to see those major changes actually manifest in our external realm. The moon in Scorpio going to make a positive interaction with Neptune in Pisces energy. So this is some water on water action, which is going to trigger our intuition first and foremost. We are super hypersensitive with all of this water energy, and it does put us in a situation to be cleansed, to be purified, to heal, to change, to transform, to be downloaded, to be guided, very heavily by our higher selves, by our intuition, by our heart space. There is a likelihood where this particular energy is a little bit refreshing to our soul, to our spirit. This is a reminder of the vision that we need to kind of continue to build upon in our mind's eye in order for us to make the change, to make the adjustment in our inner realm so that we can be a vibratory match for some of the aspects that we are wanting to build towards. So then Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information communication, how it is that we express ourselves in this Pisces energy. Mercury just had his resurrection, his renewal energy with that conjunction, that chasmy with the sun here yesterday. So Mercury is now going to sextile, beautiful interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. And this is going to restore our optimism, our confidence. We're a little bit more, I'm going to say, on the ball. We're paying attention a little bit more than we have been. We are tunnel visioned on a plan, on a path, on a solution moving forward. And the Jupiter energy, which tends to magnify and turn the volume all the way up on whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling and experiencing, is just expanding our mental plane to a bigger, broader perspective of what is possible for us now that we have had a certain level of healing, repairment, and growth really take hold in our mental plane, in our emotional plane, and in our spiritual plane as well. This is going to kind of put us in a situation where we're in a position to be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more open to learning, a little bit more, I'm going to say, positive in our inner dialogue, in our inner narrative. So this is definitely going to be a good bump in the right direction. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, also in this energy of Aquarius. So the Aquarius energy is trying to get us to kind of see the bigger, broader picture here, to focus on where it is in our heart space, in our physical realm, that there's room for improvement, especially stabilizing areas of our lives that haven't felt so stable, haven't felt so sure. And especially where Venus is very connected to relationship dynamics, to money matters, we are definitely sitting in this visionary energy, trying to think up of where it is that we would like to aim for, like to be, like to actually see ourselves in a futuristic realm. We're trying to break down that bigger vision into smaller, more manageable pieces so that we can start rearranging, restructuring, redesigning our physical realm to be, again, a match for the vision, the goal, the dream that we're currently trying to piece together. Venus is going to sextile the North Node. And this particular energy is a very interesting energy because it kind of helps us to realize where it is that we have to move forward, where it is that we have to double down on ourselves, where it is that we need to be a little bit more, I'm going to say, open-minded and open-hearted to actually seeing where it is that we can grow, we can evolve, we can improve. This is putting us in a situation, and again, pay very close attention to who is coming and going into your life at this particular point. Make the connection. What is ending, what we're closing the door on in order to open the door to new people, new quests, new mission, new purposes. This is definitely going to put us in a situation in our heart space where we're a little bit eager beavers, if you will, to kind of jump into this new karmic chapter and get the party started. The moon in Scorpio is then going to trine, beautiful interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, in this Pisces energy, and then trine the sun in this Pisces energy as well. So we get this trine because they're like elements, meaning water on water action. Water on water is very cleansing, very purifying, very healing, very transformative, very creative, very emotional, very intuitive. And because, again, we had all of these reset cycles take place here yesterday with Mercury, the Sun, and Saturn, we are starting to see where it is now that we have a role and a responsibility that we have to boss up into in order to level up our lives, especially in the tough love life lessons that we are now learning to process and integrate and make part of our being so that we can move forward, really tapping in to what it is that we've already learned, probably the hard way in past situations and scenarios, and put us on a path to understand where it is that we we have to start building new foundations in our lives, new structures in our lives, in order for us to actually build that bridge to get us away from where it is that we're currently at and closer to where it is that we desire to be. The interaction with the sun is going to shine a bright light on a new emotional awareness, a new, let's call it change, adjustment, transformation in our emotional realm, in our vision, in our goals, in our wants, needs, and desires. And again, the shadow work that happens with the moon in Scorpio, yes, we have to realize the funk, the darkness, the pain, the trauma, but from that is an aha moment, an epiphany. And the moon and the sun, anytime they come together, there is a new awareness coming forth that will help us totally change the game. First in our inner realm, second in our external realm. The moon is then going to directly oppose and sit across from Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. He's in this Taurus energy. Taurus and Scorpio energy sit across from each other in the zodiac wheel. This is going to create tension. This is a choice point, a decision point, a realization where it is that there is an opportunity for growth. You may be perceiving it as a blockage, as a challenge, as an obstacle right now, but those particular markers are really challenging you to boss up, to overcome them, to detour around them. This is an opportunity to expand upon what it is that you've already learned, what it is that you've already integrated. That Jupiter energy is the wisdom, the information, the knowledge that we've already accumulated in our life experiences. So now it's time to double down, integrate that wisdom, that knowledge into our being so that we can move forward and not make the same mistakes that we've made in previous situations. This is an element where we're understanding where it is in our physical realm that, yes, we may feel blocked and challenged, but again, this is an opportunity to level up, to really kind of rise to this challenge and to overcome it in ways that we have essentially been training for through the tough love life lessons that we've already experienced. The moon is then going to make an awkward interaction with Neptune in this Pisces energy. This is when the energy can become a little bit overwhelming. Sometimes we're overwhelmed with emotion. Sometimes we're overwhelmed with thoughts. Sometimes we're overwhelmed with intuitive insight that we can't make sense of, that we don't know what to do with. And sometimes when we're overwhelmed, especially with water energy, the tendency is to pull back, to kind of move within ourselves, to be a little bit more introverted, to kind of just curl up in a ball and live in la la land until this particular discomfort comes to pass. The moon is then going to trine with Mercury, and this is such a good sign because it means that our heart space, the moon, and our head space, Mercury, they're on the same page. They're working together. There is a connection here that we're making, an aha moment, an epiphany, either on what it is that we're growing through, what it is that we're healing, what it is that we need to grow through or heal in order for us to reach this next mission, this next purpose, this next chapter. This particular energy can also put us in a little bit of a situation where we're beginning to understand some of the intuitive insights and visions that we've already been previously downloaded with. Again, Mercury being in this Pisces energy, it's really hard to understand what's going on within us, let alone articulate it, actually put it into words and express it outwardly. So there is this like intuitive understanding that we have within ourselves, but yet we may not actually be able to express that outwardly yet. But the epiphany, the aha moment, the level of awareness that we're coming to inside of us is definitely helping us build towards this new energy, this new cycle, and really put us in a different mood, a different attitude to continue to do the uncomfortable, heavy-weighted shadow work, because we're starting to see a lot of progress, especially between our heart and between our head.